Good afternoon, everybody. I'm meteorologist Katie Garner, and today we are live tracking this continued hurricane. 155-mile-an-hour winds right now is a Category 4. You only have to be at 100. I'm just saying we're a few miles an hour behind Category 5 status. You have to be at 157 miles an hour to be a Cat 5. We are now at Category 4, moving northeast at about 16 miles an hour. Here's the previous track. You're going to see as we lead into the current track here as the Category 4 moves in, and it's now headed toward Tampa. This is a very dangerous situation. The Tampa mayor has said if you did not or do not evacuate, you could die. It would be a dire situation. And for us here in Jacksonville, we're expecting rain and some wind, and we know St. Johns County had mandatory evacuations. We're actually going to get you the county by county outlook. Did want to show you this thing's going to cross the state as a Cat 1, and that's going to be a problem. So we're not in the cone, but we're still going to have issues. Look at this storm surge. It's unfathomable, okay? It is. Now, to put it in perspective, and I've said this a lot in my forecast, the ceiling in a home, typically, your typical ceiling, is around 8 feet, okay? So you look at this, Pinellas Park, Clearwater, St. Petersburg, which, by the way, I've got a good friend of mine that actually lives on her sailboat. She's really cool, in St. Petersburg. She evacuated days ago to Tallahassee. Good thing, but we're worried about her boat. Tampa, Holiday, Palm Harbor, if you stayed, you're going to be worried about a lot more than that because this is very dangerous. Bradenton, you're looking at storm surge up to about 15 feet. That is not survivable, okay? So as we continue to look up here down our coastline into Jacksonville, we've got obviously the ocean and then, of course, the rivers, the St. Johns River specifically. We're looking at about 3 to 5 feet of storm surge potentially. So it's something to be aware of. While we're going to be nothing like Tampa, we're still going to have some of that surge. This is the storm surge explainer graphic. Let me kind of explain it to you. It's based on the winds and really the tide. So if it's high tide and you get storm surge, that just means that surge is going to go higher. What it is an abnormal rise of water over and above predicted tide levels, okay? So the scenario right here with this particular graphic is for a major storm. The water rise 20 feet and higher, and that would mean devastating impacts. I mean, truly, with 15 feet of storm surge, you're going to see cars floating. You're going to see debris floating from Helene that was already left behind. Mark Collins did an amazing story. You know, it was such a humanistic perspective on what happened to his childhood home, his dad's house. It just got torn up by Helene. And so you couple that with now we're going to have Milton coming in, and it is horrific. It's very sad. It's an emotional storm to cover because these homes that people are losing could have been the home you brought your first child home in. It could have been the home that you saved for years to afford. And some people don't have flood insurance because it's expensive. So, you know, it is what it is. It's just awful. So we're going to track it. But here locally, we do have a storm surge warning. And then we have a hurricane warning. You obviously can't see any of those, but I'll tell you, it's from this Salmon area all the way down to Palatka and over toward our coast is that hurricane watch. I think I just said hurricane warning. I'd like to correct myself. Hurricane watch, and then of course the storm surge warning. So we have some rain right now in McClenny and Stark, Palatka, Willatka and Georgetown. You're going to get a little wet too. World Golf Village, St. Augustine, Palm Coast down to Flagler Beach, Volano Beach, and Fernandina. You're clear for now, along with Callahan up in Georgia. In fact, if you're in Georgia and we're not talking about you, that's okay because this is really not your storm. So we're going to have lower totals, obviously from Valdosta to Waycross, Homerville, Brunswick. But as you come on into St. Mary's, almost an inch of rain there. We've really trimmed back the totals in Jacksonville quite a bit to almost 2 inches, 2 inches in Orange Park, and then you see 2.5 inches in 2.5 inches, Green Cove Springs, but 5 in St. Augustine and Palatka, and this is a problem because St. Augustine floods easily. And then Palm Coast, 7 inches of rain. So as we continue to look at this, here's a look at the futurecast with that radar churning up. And as it does, you'll see that rain really coming in overnight. That's the other thing that scares, you know, a lot of people. And it makes you want to get ready early is that this is an overnight event, right? So you're not going to be able to see much. And that's why for us, we're going to be wall to wall with this. Obviously, we're going to have you covered, but we're coming in even before midnight. So we can obviously be safe on the roads. And if you don't have to, you know, drive, I mean, why would you? I wouldn't. So you'll continue to see this thing churn up. By the time we get to Thursday afternoon, Jacksonville's rain's a little lighter, but I'm thinking about my friends in Orlando and everybody, and even us in Jacksonville, because look, even when the rain gets lighter, there's going to be debris. There's going to be branches down, there's going to be power outages, and there's going to be property damage. And it's something we really have to watch. By Friday into the weekend, we see that rain really get out of here. And we need that sunshine to help us kind of dry out and get that cleanup going. But our focus right now is obviously the storm, but I will show you into the weekend that things are looking better condition-wise. We'll have to wait and see. Baker County, Hurricane Milton impacts, 30 to 40 mile an hour wind speeds, almost an inch of rainfall, and the impacts will be tonight through tomorrow. Camden County, let's go through all of these. We're going to see wind gusts at 60 miles an hour, wind speeds at 50 miles an hour, and about an inch and a half of rain tonight into tomorrow. As we get into Clay County, here are your impacts. 55 mile an hour gusts, 40 mile an hour sustained winds, and about an inch of rainfall. Coming into Columbia County, our friends there, 45 mile an hour gust, 25 to 35 mile an hour speeds, and about an inch of rain tonight into tomorrow. Coastal Duval, take a look at this and you'll see heavy wind gusts, 65 miles an hour, 50 mile an hour sustained winds, about 4 inches of rain tonight into tomorrow. Putnam County, I know I'm wheeling these off, but you have to. 70 mile an hour winds, 4 to 8 inches amounts of rain, and tonight into tomorrow. As we move on into St. Johns County, where that mandatory evacuation was in place, 75 mile an hour wind gust, 4 to 7 inches of rainfall tonight into tomorrow. And as you look at Duval County downtown, 60 mile an hour gusts, 35 to 45 mile an hour sustained winds, 3 to 4 inches of rain tonight into tomorrow. And Flagler County, you take the cake with the wind gust, 85 miles an hour, almost 10 inches of rain tonight into tomorrow. Glenn County, we're looking at 60 mile an hour wind gusts for you, about an inch and a half of rain, 45 to 50 mile an hour wind speeds tonight into tomorrow. And Nassau County, we are looking, at issues there with some rain as well. And Pearson-Brantley County, about an inch of rain, 45 mile an hour gust, and 25 to 30 mile an hour sustained winds. Union and Bradford counties, I wasn't kidding when I said we'd hit every county, 45 mile an hour gust and an inch of rain tonight into tomorrow. So there you go. We'll have these online as well. Michelle McCormick wrote a great story really highlighting each county. This is Ortega. Normally you'd be able to see the entire skyline. You can't because visibility's down. We're really kind of watching and waiting from here as this thing gets started. Rain on the camera here at 501 Riverside. And I'll show you over the next 7 days, let's take a look at our hourly first. We're going to be in the 70s with afternoon showers absolutely turning into, hurricane moving in, and we got a lot to watch here as a team, and we're going to do that. Michelle and Richard will be with you tonight, and Mark and I'll be back at 2 o'clock tomorrow morning. We're going to be in the 70s through Saturday, and then the 80s move back in, lows in the 60s, so it's fall-like weather. But really, why I show you the 7-day with that sunshine is not to say, oh, the sun's coming back out. I mean, it is, but our focus is the storm here. So we want to know that there's good weather for cleanup, because you're going to have branches down, pull everything inside that you can. I know for me, in my neighborhood, my neighbors and I were talking yesterday, we've all got those inflatables. You need to pull those down and bring them in. I know it's a pain, but you don't want them to blow away. That would be bad. It could be dangerous too. So anyway, that's what we're looking at. We're going to keep you updated, and I will see you at noon. Clear. Done and done. Does that sound okay?